What's up, everyone? The Underwriter Guy here for another weekly video. This week we're going to be discussing derogatory events and their seasoning requirements for each of the four major agencies. We're going to be discussing conventional, FHA, VA, and we're going to be discussing USDA as well. So let's dive in. The first derogatory event we're going to discuss will be pre-foreclosure or short sale. For conventional loan programs, we must be seasoned for 4 years with Fannie. And Freddie is a little bit different. As long as your AUS is picking up that you had a short sale or a pre-foreclosure and LP gives you an accept, you should be good to go. FHA is a little bit different. With FHA, if the borrower actually defaulted on the loan, then we must wait 3 years from the time of the sale. If the borrower did not default on the loan, the borrower must make 12 months prior to the sale. The borrower must have made all on-time payments. VA depends on the AUS and is also underwriter discretion. But if we're doing USDA, we would need to wait 3 years from completion date. Now let's say your borrower actually had a previous foreclosure. Conventional loves to see 7 years from completion date, but conventional loans are willing to take a look at the file if you're between 3 to 7 years with a max LTV of 90%, but you have to have a true extenuating circumstances. And every scenario is very different when it comes to this, and most likely you will need an approval from your lender to do anything with extenuating circumstances. FHA, you would need to wait 3 years from the foreclosure date, while VA will allow you to do this if you have 2 years from completion date of closing. Then we have to wait 3 years for USDA. USDA is always going to be 3 years with significant derogatory events. Please try to keep that in mind. Let's take a look at bankruptcy and what the agencies state about seasoning for these. For conventional, you will need to wait 4 years from either discharge or dismissal date for a Chapter 7 or an 11. Now for Chapter 13, it's a little different. If it was discharged, then you would need to wait 2 years. But if it was dismissed, it's a 4-year waiting period. If you have multiple BKs, then the borrower would have to wait 5 years from the last discharge date unless there was an extenuating circumstances. Then it would be 3 years from the most recent discharge date. FHA loves to see 2 years from discharge date for Chapter 7, 11, and 13. But if your borrower made on-time payments for 12 months for FHA will consider this if the plan has been paid out and fully discharged before closing. Remember, guys, net proceeds can never be used to pay off a BK. VA states that Chapter 7 and 11 must be discharged and it must be seasoned for 2 years. But if your borrower has been seasoned for at least 1 year, the VA will look at an extenuating circumstance. Chapter 13 is very simple. For VA, if you have made all of your payments for Chapter 13, you are good to go, and the borrower reestablished credit. Or if at least 12 payments were made and the court approves the borrower for a new debt, then VA will consider accepting the borrower's credit. And of course, USDA is 3 years from completion date. Well, that's it for this week, guys. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. If you think this information was helpful to you, please click the like and subscribe button. And if you feel the videos can help someone else out there, please share them. And see you guys next week.